Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
We will see simulation today. Go through this definitions. Go through the definitions of simulation. Take 1 minute and read. Go through this. Simulation is a mathematical model describing a given system which was solved analytically to obtain the optimal solution. The intention behind this, whatever it is, whether it is transportation problem, whether it is linear programming problem, whether it is assignment problem, whatever it is, finally, okay, whatever the mathematical models we were using in decision science, that means to obtain the optimal solution. Okay, here simulation means you cannot do any experiments on the real system. I told what is a system? A system consists of input, process, output and feedback mechanism. Correct? Input, for example, you took admission in MBA, that is input. Input is students, faculties, library. Students exist, infrastructure is there, okay? Students should exist, then faculty should exist. If faculty should exist, then library should exist. These are the inputs for a system. Then what is process? If students exist, the faculty should teach. Faculty exists, faculty needs books, that is process. And output, finally, after completion of your 2 years, you should get a degree. That is a piece of paper with whatever the percentage you have. Okay, if Lakshmi ma'am is not teaching well, then you have to give feedback to Santosh sir, correct? Feedback mechanism. Wherever I am lacking, he will explain, then I will rectify that for further improvement. Then this is called as system. Okay, here simulation is also a system. Actually, it is widely used in service sector, that is IT, information technology and computer science. Have you heard, anybody heard system development life cycle? Anybody heard system development life cycle? System development life cycle consists of 6 steps. First, initiate the requirement, define the requirement, design the requirement, okay, build a model, then validate the model and maintain the model. It is an iterative process. कभी सुना है क्या? नहीं. Students, कभी सुना है क्या system development life cycle? This model has developed by Monte Carlo. Okay, that's why the simulation is called Monte Carlo simulation. Okay, process is same here. The process of simulation is defining the problem and state the objectives. Okay, development of an appropriate model. Exactly, it is nothing but prototype. Simulation, we can define a prototype. We cannot do any experiments on the real system. That's why we have to build up a model that is called here I wrote C. If you are doing experiment directly, it is expensive and time consuming. That's why we will make a replica of the real system. We will build a model that is called simulation. Okay, simulation is having certain process. First, what we will do like SDLC, this is also having 6 steps. Okay, in SDLC, we consider it as initiate the problem. Here, instead of initiation, here directly we are writing defining the problem, and you have to define the objectives of the study. In VRM, you have studied. Objective always start with the two, TO2 word, correct? Then, development of an appropriate model. According to the defining and initiation of the requirements, you have to develop your model. Okay? Then you have to collect the data. Once defining the requirements and designing the requirements, according to that, you have to collect the data. That means, once you have built up a model, then you have to collect the data. Correct? After collecting the data, you have to analyze it by using validation and verification model. V and V model is there. All these things you are having in system development life cycle. This is the process. It consists of 6 steps. So simulation is also having similar way. Okay, analyze the data and interpret the results. Okay, if you want to change the model, if necessary, you can change it. Earlier, so many SDLC models were available. Earlier in the year 1850s, around 1850s, information technology and computer science people used to do waterfall model. Okay, once they have given the requirements, okay, once you have built up the model, you cannot change. If even though requirements has changed, you cannot change that model. That's why that is called a rigid model. Okay, then after that, they have developed prototyping. That means whatever the real system performs the task, they will make a replica of the real system. That is called as prototyping. Simulation is nothing but prototyping. Right now, we will solve the problems. Everybody go through the problem, then I will explain the procedure. Everybody go through the problem. This is very easy simulation compared to steady state probabilities. Here, daily demand is given. Corresponding probabilities are given. Okay, first, you have to identify the variables. Here, the variable is a daily demand. The corresponding probability should be strictly equal to 1. They have provided random numbers. Okay, random numbers maybe means, have you heard of where random numbers concept has come? Have you heard this sampling theory in 4th chapter of BRM? There are 2 types of sampling. वो भी कवर नहीं किया था ना मैम अनुजा मैडम ने. अदिति अदिति
यस मैम.
आप लोगों को प्रोबेबिलिटी सैम्पलिंग और नॉन प्रोबेबिलिटी सैम्पलिंग थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया है क्या? नो.
हाँ मैम, थोड़ा बहुत है.
हाँ.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Listen, we have taken here random numbers. Random numbers is based on Tippett's table. It comes under sampling theory. Okay, whatever the random numbers in this problem you are having, I have highlighted random numbers. This is based on Tippett table. Probability sampling. You have studied probability sampling, simple random sampling, stratified sampling, systematic sampling, multi-stage sampling. Correct? Non-probability, you have studied area sampling, convenience sampling, purposive sampling. Here, these random numbers we have taken from probability sampling. Okay. Right now, directly we will go to the problem. Okay. Here, how to solve the problem is important, even though you don't know probability sampling. That doesn't matter. But for practical purpose, I explained this. Okay. What is given in the problem? Demand is given. Correct?
Board is not visible.
Ma'am, board is not visible.
Screen is not visible. Board. Okay. They 1 second. They moved the camera yesterday because of meeting. Wait for a minute. Everywhere this is hard. 1 second. Visible right now? Little bit I have to check. 1 second, I will call the person then.
ठीक है आप दिल्ली में करके ठीक है
Thank you. Random numbers has taken from Tippett's table, right? Then the problem is here in the given problem, the daily demand is given. Is it visible right now?
Yes, ma'am.
0, 10, 20. What are the values given? Take it. Okay. Then after that, what is given? Probability is given. Probability is given. Then write down the probability. Simultaneously make a note, everybody. Okay, then here CP, that means cumulative probability we have to calculate. I told you how to calculate cumulative frequency the same way. If the class interval or marks you can consider the corresponding frequency 0 to 10, 5 students, 10 to 20, 8 students got, 20 to 30, 7 students, 30 to 40, 6 students, like that. Again, marks in between 0 to 5 students got marks between 0 to 10. 8 students got marks between 10 to 20, like that. These are frequency means how frequently it occurs. How you have to calculate cumulative frequency in median, in BRM cumulative frequency, how we used to calculate. Take the first class interval as it is 5, 8 plus 5, 13, 13 plus 7, 20, 20 plus 6, 26. Cumulative frequency. This way we have to calculate. Similarly, cumulative probability also we have to calculate in similar manner. Cumulation means addition. That's why the first class interval remains as it is, that is 0.01. Next 0.01 plus 0.20, then you will get 0.21. 0.21 plus 0.15, that is 0.36. 0.36 plus 0.50, this is 0.86. 0.86 plus this 0.98. 0.98 plus 0.02, you will get this as 1. If you add this, you will get 1. Is it mapping with this? Yes. Okay. Then, after that, the procedure is, we have to take the random numbers. Whatever the random numbers they have given, we have to take the random numbers as it is. Take random numbers. Random numbers is given in the problem. Take the random numbers. Those random numbers are 25 highlighted with bold, 65, 76, 12, 05, 73, 89, 19, 49. These are the random numbers given in the problem. Then we have to write down random number interval. We have to find out random number interval. For example, listen carefully. If random numbers are given here 2 digits. Random numbers are given in 2 digits. Sometimes they will give random numbers in 3 digits, but you don't have 3 digits concept in your syllabus. MCA students are having. Okay, here these are the random numbers. How to write down random number interval? You have to look at cumulative probability. Most of the students used to write probability. Okay. After calculating cumulative probability, you have to concentrate only on cumulative probability. Okay. Here, random number interval. This number, because you have to convert this decimals into numbers. That means you should not include this number. The previous number you have to include 0.01. Previous number will be 0. Next. We are converting this decimal digits in terms of random numbers. That is called random number interval. Okay. Whatever the digit you have not included, that digit you have to include in the next class interval. That is, I will write better 01. Then here 21 is there. Previous number of 21 is 20. 21 should be included in the next class interval. Here 36. Previous number is 35. Then in the next class interval, this will be included. Why you are writing, Lakshmi ma'am, random numbers in terms of numbers? All random numbers are given in terms of numbers. That's why you have to convert the cumulative probability into random number interval. This is the process of Montgomery. Okay, 36. Then 85 should not, before the number is 85. In the next class interval, you have to include 86. Previous number is 97. In the next class interval, you have to include 98. The previous number is 99. 0 to 99, the meaning is same. Again, I am repeating this. They will give daily demand. Corresponding probability they will give in the final examination. Then find out this. This is nothing but frequency. Total frequency is 1. Right now, calculate cumulative probability. First class interval remains as it is, that is 0.01. Next, 0.01 plus 0.20, 0.21 plus 15, 36, plus 0.50, that is 0.86. Like that you have to calculate, then you will get this value as 1. Whether it is mapping with this, you have to verify. Then, random numbers is given in the problem. Okay, then once random numbers is given in the problem, you have to convert the cumulative probabilities into random number interval. The process for that is, whatever the variable is there, you have to include the preceding event, like median, but you didn't do that median. Okay, that was missing in BRM. That's why I'm explaining here. Okay, in cumulative probability, what we have to do while writing random number interval, you have to convert this decimal digits in terms of numbers. That's why 0.01, previous number will be 0. And whatever the class interval you are not including, in the next class interval you have to include. That means here I have not included 1. That's why in the next class interval I have to include 1. Why we are converting this? Because random numbers are not in digits. Random numbers consist of 2 digits. That's why you have to convert random number interval into numbers. Clear? Then 01 in the next class interval. The 121 previous number is 20. That's why 1 to 20 the interval is. 21 is included in the next class interval. 36 previous number is 35 preceding event. Then in the next class interval you have to include 36. 86 is there, previous number is 85. In the next class interval you have to include this. 98 previous number is 97. In the next class interval you have to include. This is a random number interval. Right now, we have to calculate what they asked, average demand per day. This is called as simulated demand we have to calculate. What we have to calculate? Simulated demand. That means simulation is nothing but estimated demand. Simulated demand is nothing but estimated demand. Right now, again, we have to concentrate on random numbers. That is, the random number is 25. This 25, in this particular class interval, where it lies? 25 lies in this particular class interval, that is 21 to 35. What is the daily demand? That is 20. Here, in front of 25, you have to write 20. Similarly, again I am explaining. The random number is 25. In this particular class interval, where 25 lies? In between 21 to 35, correct? 25 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand you have to verify that is 20. Similarly, 39. In this particular class interval, 39 lies in between 36 to 85. The corresponding demand is 30. Similarly, 65. 65 lies in this particular interval. The corresponding demand is again 30. Next, 76 also lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 30. Next, 12. 12 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 10. Next, 05 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 10. Next, 73. 73 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 30. Next, 89 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 40. 19, the corresponding value here, then the corresponding demand is 10. Last value is 49. 49 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 30. You have to sum this, okay? Then you will get 240. You will get 240. Right now, average demand per day we have to write. Per day, the formula is simulated demand divided by how many days they have given. The total number of days in the problem, it is given as 10. That means 240 upon 10 is equal to 24 units per day. 24 units per day. Any doubt in this? Students? Understood?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we will go for one more problem. Then we will solve third problem. Go through the third problem. Random numbers is given downwards. Just go through the sentences. 1 minute time I will give. It's 10:53 till 10:54. Read the problem carefully. Okay, go through the sentences. Here it is given. Okay, random numbers also given. Okay, then here if you observe earlier problem, the probabilities is given. But in this particular problem, they have not given probabilities. Number of days is given. That means the corresponding frequency is given. Demand 10 units of demand. How many number of days it is taking? 20 days. Okay, demand is of 10 units. It is taking 20 days. Then how to solve this problem? Take down demand, then number of days. Simply I am writing ND, number of days. Here whatever the values, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Right now number of days, that means what it is given, frequency is given. F. Frequency is always represented by the letter F. How frequently it occurs, whatever the values you write down. 20, 40, 60, 60, 20. Okay, if you add this, you will get 200. Earlier problem also we have means probabilities is given, then we have verified it is one here. 200 in the given problem, records of past 200 days. Is it mapping with that? Yes. Then right now we have to find out the probability. How to find out the probability? The corresponding value divided by total frequency. The corresponding value divided by total frequency. That means here, what does it mean? 20 upon 200. 40 upon 200, 60 upon 200, like that we have to write. 20 upon 200, what value we will get? 0.10. 40 upon 200, how much we will get? 0.20. 60 upon 200, how much we will get? 0.30. 60 upon 200, 0.30. 20 upon 200 already calculated 0.10. Then if you add this, you will get the total probability is 1. That means whatever the calculations you have done is correct. Then here, cumulative probability. Cumulative probability, earlier problem how we made? Same way. 0.10, 0.30, 0.30 plus 0.30. 60, 90, 1. Map with this is. Then what we have to write? In the given problem, random numbers are given. Write down the random numbers. What are the random numbers they have given? Random numbers. Write down the random numbers. 69, 01, 08, 74, 82, 20, 72, 14, 75, 12. Right now, you know how to write random number interval. Then, what you have to concentrate? You have to concentrate on cumulative probability. Okay, 0.10. Random numbers are again given in 2 digits. That's why you have to convert this in terms of numbers. That means the previous number of 10 is 9. That means we have to include 0 to 09. In the next class interval, you have to include the previous number of 30 is 29. Then 30 should be included in the next class interval. Previous number of 60 is 59. Okay. In the next class interval, you have to include 60. Previous number of 90 is 89. Next, you have to include here, this is 100. Previous number is 99. Right now, we have to calculate simulated demand. Whatever it is. Random number is 69, lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 40. Second, 01. 01 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 10. Similarly, 8. 8 also lies in this particular class interval. The demand is 10. Next, 74 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 40. Next, 82 also lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 40. Next, 20 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 20. Next, 72 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 40. 14 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 20. 75 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 40. 12 lies in this particular class interval. The corresponding demand is 20. Then, if you add this, then you will get 280. Just give me 1 minute to take the attendance. Till the time go through. Give me 1 minute to take the attendance. Okay, thank you. Then here total demand for 10 days is 280. We got total demand we got for 10 days is 280. Then the formula profit per unit. What is the formula for profit? Selling price minus cost price. Selling price minus cost price. Selling price is given in the given problem. It is 15 rupees per unit, and cost price is given as 10. Correct? Now the trader buys the commodity at 10 rupees per unit and sells at 15 rupees per unit. That means the selling price is given as 15 rupees, cost price is given as 10 rupees. That means we are getting what? Profit per unit we are getting. Correct? Now profit per unit we are getting 5 rupees. Then total profit in 10 days. Total profit in 10 days. 280 into 5. $1,400. Finally, what they asked? Average daily profit. What they asked? Average daily profit. Here, how much we got? 1,400 divided by total number of random numbers. It's 10. That means 140. Average profit per day is 140 rupees. Again, I am explaining this. Listen carefully. Most of the students, after seeing this problem, they have not given probabilities. That means the given problem is wrong. Clearly, students used to mention earlier batches. Simulation problem, in the given problem, probabilities is not given. That's why we are unable to formulate simulation. No, not like that. If probabilities are not given, then we have to bring the probabilities by using this formula. Okay, clearly, if probabilities are not given, then they will mention number of days. Okay, number of hours, number of weeks. That means the frequency itself. That's why you have to convert the given frequency in terms of probabilities. Then this is given. 200 we got. In the problem itself, we are having 200. Okay. Then, where somewhere around records of past 200 days to show the following distribution. See, 200. Okay, here 200 is, we got here also 200. Then calculate probabilities. The formula is corresponding value upon total frequency. 20 upon 200, 40 upon 200, 60 upon 200, 60 upon 200, 20 upon 200. Then if you add this, total probability is equal to 1. Right now you have to calculate cumulative probability. Cumulative probability remains as it is for first class interval. From next class interval it changes. 10 plus 20 it is 30. 30 plus 30 60. 60 plus 30 90. 90 plus 0.105. You have to map this. That means till here we did correct. And whatever the random numbers they have given, you have to write as it is. Okay, if you made mistake, cumulative probability, you have not calculated properly, then entire thing goes wrong. As well as random number interval also you have not written properly, entire problem goes wrong. You won't get even a single mark. Okay, random number interval. What I told, concentrate on cumulative frequency. Random numbers are given in terms of numbers. That's why we are converting this decimal digits in terms of numbers. Here 10 is there. The previous number of 10 is 9. That's why we have to include 0 to 9. Whatever the number you have excluded, you have to include in the next class. Previous number of 30 is 29. Okay, this 10 you have to include. Like that you have to write. Okay, whatever the random numbers, 69 is there. You have to verify where 69 lies, in between 60 to 89. The corresponding demand is 40. Like that, write down all the values. But here in the given problem, okay, they talked about profit per unit. We have to calculate profit per unit. The formula for profit is the selling price minus cost price. Here, selling price is given as 15. Cost price per unit is given as 10. That's why we got profit per unit as 5. Total profit we have calculated that we got 280. Per unit it takes profit 5 rupees. Then we are getting 1400. Average daily profit is equal to 1400 for